Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back once again to Fat Cat Collections. Today, folks, I got another one for you. Another RGMT watch. Oh, man. All right, so, okay. All right. So, if you guys have not watched me for a very long time, you guys know I am a dirty little nasty watch collector. I cannot get enough watches. I've been collecting since I was like 19 years old. Granted, having a YouTube channel definitely makes it easier to grow my collection, but I still buy watches from time to time. Just depends on what kind of deals are going around, and you know, ultimately, price point is a big concern for me. You know, I'm not the kind of guy who's ever going to go and spend $10,000, $20,000 on a Rolex watch. I just don't see the value in what you're paying for. To me, it doesn't make any difference in my world if the polishing is better under a macro lens, right? It doesn't make any sense. So by all means, buy what you like, but this is where my passion really lies when it comes to watches. Great quality watches, automatics, wonderful designs, and robust builds. And RGMT, they knock it out of the park with their watches. Now, this one was sent to me a few weeks ago. I've had an opportunity to wear it, enjoy it. And I gotta tell you, it's got a really nice wrist presence. So this is the Terrain. Let's get a couple close-ups here. I'll show you guys what it looks like. Obviously automatic, bam, right in your face there. They want you to know that. Really cool looking watch. Very, I think, Russian diver-esque style, right? Just amazing quality. So let's get to the check boxes. Let's knock them out of the way. What's the material? What is the movement? And what is the bezel or the crystal made out of, right? Because those are really, I think, the three big check boxes. You know, all the other things, you know, everybody's going to have different things they're looking for in a watch. For me, I think those are the most common sense, you know, features to have in a high quality watch, right? I mean, to me, whether the watch tells perfect time is kind of irrelevant, right? Because when you're wearing an automatic watch, if you have a lot of watches in your collection, you're not wearing it day in, day out, putting on a watch winder. And really, how hard is it to adjust the time if it's a little bit off? Now, I'm not saying this is on or off. You know, most of the watches that I've received never are really off more than I don't even know. All I know is when I look at my watches, I set them, and by the time I'm wearing them, whether it's for a couple days, couple weeks, when I look at them, they keep accurate time. So there's really no point in me worrying about, you know, accuracy down to the second. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any difference. Now, for other folks, if you are somebody who's a diver or something where time is extremely crucial, honestly, in today's day and age, I don't even think most divers who are really dependent, or really anybody who's really dependent upon super accurate time, even uses an automatic mechanical watch. It's all done with automated, you know, computerized microchips. Those are more accurate. Those are more reliable than any automatic watch ever made, right? So, you know, to me, it's not really a factor when buying a watch. But again, to each their own. Buy what makes you happy. I absolutely love watches like this. So you have that kind of black and red we'll call the Coke bezel, as you know, most people refer to anything black and red in the watch community. We have this really cool, you'll notice, fold out crown protector, and this is your crown down at the what is that, the number 4 o'clock or the 4 o'clock position. It is a screw down crown as well. You know, really nice lock on this. It snaps with authority. It's not gonna, you know, some folks when they're reviewing watches over the years, I've seen folks be, oh, it doesn't stay down, you know, when they're trying to make their case for quality. This is perfect, snaps with authority. Bezel on this, nice ratcheting bezel, not as, I'd say, socket-like as, or ratchet-like as the other RGMT Ohio I reviewed the other day, but very nice, smooth, no backplay, no wobble. I mean, again, I mention that because some people think that watches, that's a real problem with watches, you know. And so what's the bezel feel like? It's not, you know. Guys who bring that up are really guys just trying to prove some kind of extra level of quality with luxury brands. Most watches that I've reviewed don't have any backplay. They don't have a wobbly bezel. They're all tight, and this is no exception to that. So, 3 check boxes. What is it made out of? What's the movement? What's the crystal? So for you guys who really care about the crystal, sapphire with an anti-reflective coating. Most important one to me in any watch I ever choose is what's it made out of? 316 stainless steel, right? Of course, cosmetics, you're gonna have to like the way the watch looks, hopefully. And of course, What's the movement? So this has a Japanese 3-hand automatic movement. I'm 99% certain this is a Miyota automatic movement. So you're getting a high quality movement. You're getting, just great construction. Dual push button fold over deploying clasp. I like the fact that they don't use any kind of friction locks like Invicta uses a lot of those. I like having that dual push button lock. It just feels like it's real solid on your wrist, and it feels like it's not going to wear over time. I love the band on this, or the bracelet on this. That's really the primary reason I reached out and requested this particular one when we were figuring out which ones to review next. I love the 5-link bracelet. Really, really nice. And believe it or not, you see it on watches, but you don't see it, I think, as much as you should. I love, when you have a lot of watches in your collection. Here's the Ohio. You see more of your, what do we call that, like more of a oyster style bracelet, right? Which is really kind of a stretch, because bracelets, the oyster style bracelet is not really all that unique. It has 3 links, it's the same as in most bracelets. So, but just for reference, we'll call it oyster, right? And of course, this is what's associated with the 5 links on what you'd find on like a Jubilee style bracelet. Everybody's bracelet's been around a lot longer than Rolex has been making watches. So, it's a 5-link bracelet. It's as easy as I can put it, right? Now you do have an extra crown on top, or not a crown, extra function pusher on top here. And this basically unscrews on top, right? And when it unscrews, that rotates your inner, that rotates your inner bezel. Really cool. What I also like, and you would think this would be common sense, what I like about the RGMT line, or the RGMT watches, is that, believe it or not, a lot of companies will put extra functions like this on their watches. And they'll give a depth rating, and they'll have, we have a screw down crown. But then your function pusher is non-screw down. So your water resistance is only as good as your weakest link. This has screw down function pusher as well. So with that being stated, you're going to get 30 ATMs of water resistance. Nice big 50mm case. This has a very large wrist presence. When I wear this, I feel like it's bigger than 50 for whatever reason. Probably because you have the extra, the extra function pusher sticking out a little bit. I'm not really sure. It just feels larger. I can't really describe it because I have many 50mm watches. I'm not really sure why that is, but it's a big watch. It's huge on the wrist. I think it's one of the biggest watches that RGMT makes. 16mm case thickness, and of course you see that helium release valve off to the side. Stunning execution. Love this watch. 26mm bracelet width, and again 316L stainless steel, and it is what else? 2-year international warranty. They do have a couple different color variations on this watch here. You have this one here is we'll call the Coke, which is the one, of course, I requested. I like this one. You have a green, which is not really my cup of tea. It's got green and a green bezel, and you have your black on black, always safe. You have a blue, which is more of like a navy blue, and this particular one, which I think personally is the nicest one they have. I would love to see this watch done with maybe the nice teal. I love when other brands, I can't think of some of the brands off the top of my head, but when they really combine like the orange and the teal, you know what I mean? Some of that neon green, I think would look really nice as a black and neon green. I like when brands kind of get away from the same old Coke, Pepsi, same old color combinations, but still a winner. I like this a lot more than just having that all black bezel. It kind of breaks up the monotony of the black. Stunning looking watch, very, very dive watch, Russian diver style. That's about it. Price point on these, $1,100. Again, RGMT, like all the Dartmouth brands, they are working at kind of ironing out their pricing structure. When it comes to watches, remember, watches are a heavily marked up item. They are. They're shouldn't say heavily. Sometimes they're mildly marked up, and then other times they're insanely marked up. That markup does not dictate quality. So when you look at watches, like I've always said, quality goes on kind of like my description of quality is it goes on a scale where you go from like really kind of really entry-level watches where the quality jumps up real fast, right, to get to like maybe that $200, $300 price point. After that, the quality differences all the way up to hundreds of thousands of dollars doesn't really change. You start to pay for things that are either microscopic, differences that are like involved, like Jacob Company with the hand detail, the hand work, the customization, and the really kind of one-off. one-off designs. When we look at some of the Jacob and Company watches, you know, most of those things are extremely complicated. You know, it's a big difference between comparing a watch like that to a man-made, right? They're machine-made Rolex Submariner. You know, there's a lot of machines involved in that process. They, you know, a lot of these watch enthusiasts want people to believe like there's a guy with a loop putting your watch together and filing things. It's not the case. There are some companies out there that do that, but you know, most of them there's machines involved in the process. So, you know, and let's face it, guys, machines do it better than humans will ever do it. They don't get tired. They do it correctly. They don't mess up most of the time, right? And so, you know, don't let that dissuade you. Remember, we're not living in the 80s anymore. This is a different time. Modern manufacturing, modern machining is light years ahead of what it was 20, 30 years ago. So just another incredible watch by RGMT. So again, and you'll see the price point. My point here, as I digress, is that, you know, RGMT is working out where the sweet spot is for the price point. What are, in my opinion, you know, and this is, they can ultimately do what they want to do. I'm going to share these watches with you guys and give you my honest opinion on the quality and how I feel wearing them. But, you know, what do you want to do? Do you want to sell one watch, or do you want people to keep coming back for more? And I think brands like this, people want more. You know, it's hard when they're $1,100, right? But if you can come in at a sweet spot, the right price point, and I think good price point in this is $200 to $300 range. I think when you're having watches that are micro brand like this, in that $200 to $300 price range, you're competitive. You're getting, and again, that's with an automatic movement. You know, when you start getting involved in the quartz, those are still great too. But I think the automatic movements, I think, kind of dictate a little bit more, or allow you to draw a little bit higher price, I think anyway. But I think a sweet spot for this would be $200 to $300. Let me know what you guys think. I always appreciate when you guys draw comments, and this is how companies learn and learn what's going to work for them. You know, these watches, I don't know what their volume's like at these price points, but you know, like I said, if you want to compare it, you know, just because a watch has an $1,100 price point, it doesn't mean that like it's too much, right? It just means I think the sweet spot is less for what you can get with other brands. And I think that when you compare this to brands like Aquadive, my bathroom cap, that's a $2,000 watch all day. This watch, every bit as nice, every bit as nice. So, you know, I don't think the price point is really off, but remember, price point is determined by where a company wants to come in at, based on their profit, based on their business structure. It's different for every company, but I like to see companies succeed. And I think that a price point on this would be a good $200 to $300. We'll see what happens down the road, but keep your eye peeled. Keep checking back to the website. Let me know if I can help you guys anyway. Again, I think the quality of these watches is fantastic. And if you like, you know, Invicta, Aragon, those two brands, you like Bulova, really any of the good quality brands, you're going to love RGMT. They're going to make a name for themselves, and I'm really happy to be a part of it. So that's it, guys. Let me just go ahead and throw it on the wrist. Now, I am wearing right now my newest Nubeo watch. I'm going to say Coppola. It's not pronounced Coppola. I screw it up every time and I can't remember how to say it, but it's a killer watch. Let me go ahead and throw this sucker on the wrist. Now I have a 7-inch wrist. I weigh about 185 pounds. This is what it looks like in a guy my size, my height, and my weight. Just stunning. Awesome. Alright guys, remember to subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you have any questions. If I can help you, I will. Have a wonderful day and take care.